Hello YouTube, it's the Dbtgamer show. This is episode 106. This is my Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess review for the Wii. This game's also available on the GameCube. This is part 2. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, go back and watch it because you have missed quite a bit. I've covered the story, the graphics, the controls, the music, the gameplay, and I've talked about some of the dungeons in part 1. I was a little bit sketchy on the story because I can't really remember much about the game, but I did explain it the best way I could. If you want to know more about the story for the game, look up on Wikipedia or something like that. Anyway, back to the review. Well, let's go to good stuff now. The good stuff about this game, well, the story for the game is awesome. Although it can get a little confused at times because there's very few text boxes and there's no voice acting at all. The gameplay is awesome. There are loads and loads of weapons in the game. Let's take a look at them. Of course, you get your sword and shield like in every Zelda game. Press the minus button, you get all your equipment. Let's see what we got. We got the Dominia rod, which lets you control special statues to get through certain puzzles. You've got the ball and chain. This is awesome. This is probably the most deadliest weapon in the game apart from your sword. You can smash the shit out of anything with this. The spinner is... This is used to access certain areas in Hyrule and in some dungeons. The hero's bow, just to shoot arrows basically. There are two types of arrows in this game. You've got your bomb arrows and your standard arrows. Bomb arrows, you may have to aim a little bit higher than usual because they are a lot heavier and they tend to go down a lot faster when you fire them. And they're also a lot stronger. Iron boots, they just make you sink in water and make you a bit heavier. Gale boomerang is awesome. You can lock onto about 5 different targets in the game. You got a lantern to light places. You can also set people on fire and hit them with it. You got a slingshot, which can hold 50 seeds. Your bow can hold up to 100 arrows. The bow itself only starts with 30 arrows, but if you go to a special mini game in the main Hyrule town place, you can get the a bigger quiver. The slingshot can only hold 50 seeds, as I just said. I'm quite happy that the slingshot is in this game. In Ocarina of Time, I was rather disappointed that the slingshot was redundant after you grew up into an adult. But in this game, all the weapons work no matter which place in the story you are in, which is awesome. That's where a Zelda game should be. The fishing rod, I hated. I can't stand the fishing mechanic in this game. Zelda is not about fishing. It's about going through dungeons, saving princesses, and kicking Ganon's ass. Nintendo, we do not need fishing in a Zelda game. Please, just let this stupid fan die. The Hawkeye is basically a sniper lens for your bow and arrow. You've got 3 types of bombs. You've got the water bombs, which only work underwater. Your standard bombs, they got your these weird bomb insects which work very similar to the bomb chews in Ocarina of Time. You've got 4 bottles in the game, so you can carry potions in that. I've got 3 blue potions, there's some lantern oil. You've got your horse claw, which is a special flute which actually call your horse, and you've got the double claw shots. These are awesome. Double claw shots themselves, you can hook onto trees, walls. Because you've got 2 of them, you can basically be like Batman and just zip from wall to wall. I would say Spider-Man, but it works more like Batman for me. You can also stun enemies with them. It's just, the double claw shot is just awesome. In a lot of ways, they are better than the hook shot because you've got 2 of them. You don't get 2 of them to start off with. You have to get 1 from one dungeon, 1 from another dungeon. Equipment that you get in this game, you get quite a lot. You got 2 swords, the Ordnance Sword and the Master Sword. You got a wooden shield, which you have to keep buying if you get set on fire, which is really annoying. You got Hylian shield. You got the green tunic. The Zoran armor. It's really useful for swimming, but the giant problem with it is that if you're against any fire or item, the damage is doubled and you can get frozen quite easily. The magic armor, it's a good armor as long as you have rupees in your wallet. If you have no rupees, it just wears you down. See, my rupees are depleting every second I use the armor. But it is a really strong armor. When you got this on, your health is infinite, but depending on how much damage you take from hits, you will lose more rupees. So, only use if you've got a shitload of rupees and you're running out of health. That's my advice for that one. It is quite difficult to get. You have to do several side quests to get it, but it is, for certain dungeons, it is worth it. What other stuff can I talk about? Oh, well, this is one thing I love about the game. You've got a warp song, so you can access areas of Hyrule pretty easy. That's always awesome. Another great thing about the game is obviously the horse, which I mentioned earlier. Where is he? There he is. You can name the horse this time. You don't have to call it Epona. I couldn't think of a name for it, I just called it Epona. Throughout the game, there are boss fights where you will use the horse in the boss fight. One of the boss fights that you do use the horse is Ganon. Speaking of bosses, the bosses in the game, they are really good. They're pretty hard. One of my favourite bosses is probably the boss in the is the boss in one of the very last dungeons. You fight this giant dragon, and you got to get on its back and just shove your sword in its head and slice it up whilst it's flying around. It's just awesome. You've got to use your claw shots to hook under its tail. It's just a really awesome boss fight. There's also the same sort of boss fight where you're in the water temple, but it's a giant fish. The final boss fight again is pretty awesome. You even get to fight Zelda when she's possessed. You get to fight the Ganymede's pig form. Then you get to fight Gandalf in this massive epic sword battle. And then you got the you also get to fight him on his horse as well. Another great thing about the game, the dungeon map is a really good mechanic. I liked it it really helped me get through all the dungeons. And the compass was very useful as well. I'm glad these things are in this game because I really missed them when I played Phantom Hourglass, which I reviewed earlier this year. It was very disappointing that they weren't in there, excuse me. Anyway, YouTube, I've run out of time again, so please join me in part 3 where I'll probably finish off you doing this game. Until then, see ya.